What is up, guys? It's Astro, and we're back with another Airmech Strike cast, and this time it is a 1v1 on the map Salt, and it is between Propropropro in the Alpha Striker and R3ddog, who is an old returning player, just came back recently in the Envision Osprey. Now, this should be a really good game. Both of these players are very talented, very high tier players. So let's see how it unfolds. Both players going very standard, attacking the T45. Propropro, I don't know why he didn't stand up here and attack the T45, because then he would have taken way less damage, but I think he just wanted to ferry over his tanks, which is fine. R3ddog also doing the same thing, ferrying over tanks. Usually what you see is you see people kill the T45, then body block for their creeps, and then ferry their tanks over to this outpost over here. But yeah, it looks like both players going to capture their close outposts at pretty much the same time. Propro a little slower than R3ddog, but he is also working on neutralizing this outpost, whereas R3ddog has barely started to work on that. So I'd say Propropro is a little bit ahead in capturing his close outpost. R3ddog, ooh, looks like he's coming over for some harass, and oh, doesn't manage to kill a creep. Oh, kills one creep. Levels up, so he'll probably stay alive here, actually. I don't know about that. Ooh, taking some damage from the neutrals, and oh, R3ddog going down to the neutral secret. That's good. Propropro doesn't get the XP if he dies to neutrals, which I think R3ddog realized he was going to die there, so he decided to let the neutrals kill him to deny Propropro the XP, which is pretty important in the early game. So good on R3ddog. Propropro immediately neutralizing, but R3ddog just picking up some creeps and bringing them over. So the game is pretty even so far. R3ddog a little bit ahead in upkeep. Not really sure where that's from, but yeah, I don't know what he's building. There's tanks and seekers, looks like. So R3ddog 20 upkeep, Propropro only 14. Interesting. And R3ddog getting the XP from that neutral jackal and salvaging a little bit to try and get some credits. That's probably where the upkeep's from. He's probably been salvaging the neutral units to get a little bit more credits, which is interesting. Yeah, that actually led to like a pretty big lead in upkeep early game for R3ddog. And Propropro with some buckies over here by mid, attempting to neutralize the bucky, or kill the neutrals at mid with the buckies. But R3ddog is just placing all his units down here, and it looks like, oh, immediately pushing out. There are some heavy mines down for R3ddog to prevent a counter push from Propro. So this is a pretty good idea. Propro only with 2 Longhorn and a Gaddy and a Ratchet here to defend. And R3ddog stopping his units to grab the bogs. Well played by R3ddog. 6,000 more credits. R3ddog very much ahead in terms of economy. And Propro ferrying 2 Longhorn over here, but R3ddog is just content to just sit here and heal the units from 3 buckies and 2 Longhorn worth of damage. Osprey is OP, bro. He's healing all the damage from all of that unit clump on 1 Gemini. And it looks like R3ddog here with about 7 Gemini and a Seeker, 2 Longhorn, a Gaddy, and 4 buckies. I think R3ddog will win this fight if he pushes straight into here. But Propropro ferrying over some more Longhorn. It looks like R3ddog did choose to retreat. Not really sure where these units are going. R3ddog doing quick scout. Propropro have these buckies. The buckies have managed to kill a few neutrals. Still working on the T99. And R3ddog still holding his units over here. And Propropro looks to be moving them out. He thinks he has the advantage right here, so he's going to push out a little bit to try and snipe some units, but not quite working. No, he's actually moving them over here. I'm not quite sure what both these players are doing. Oh, R3ddog's going for the platform over here to try and kill all of these neutrals. This is honestly a pretty good idea, actually. So the problem with Propropro's having is that some of his units are allocated at mid, while some of his units are allocated as outposts. So his units are pretty split, whereas R3ddog has all of his units clumped right here, and that's a lot of tanks. So if R3ddog chooses to attack here or here, Propropro will have to ferry units, and that's going to take time, and R3ddog will probably win the fight. He just pushes straight on T or something. Considering he is that Osprey and he can keep them alive. He should push on Y right now. No, choosing to push on T instead, which is also an equally good idea, because these neutrals, Propropro is still dealing with them. And he only has 4 Longhorn and a few buckies here. 6 Longhorn, never mind. And pushing in, tanks are kind of derping, I'm not sure. I think they were set on T instead of follow. And yeah, they should be pushed into these tanks, but Propropro ferrying even more units, and it looks like the fight is not in favor of R3ddog, actually. R3ddog choosing to pull out, and what did he do? Looks like he's actually pushing them on Y. Oh my god. This is a crazy move. And it's a bit of a gamble. I don't know if this is going to be successful. R3ddog probably will take this post if he pushes on by. But like, yeah, Propropro can just simply put them on X or put them on follow command and bring them over here. And he can ferry his units from this outpost over here. So these units most likely going to die. He should probably push on T, I think. He should go for this outpost now from here. But no, these units just going. They're just going. They're going on Y. And Propropro realized this quick. Oh, this is pretty dangerous actually. But he's ferrying over some tanks. This is a pretty decent defense. This is 5 Longhorn and a Bucky to defend, as well as Striker Mech against. Oh, actually I don't know. They're not focusing the fort. These tanks are on follow with an Osprey in support, but that's a lot of defending tanks. And oh, they're on the corner. They're on the corner. They're on Y. This is a lot of damage. This is a lot of damage. Ooh, these tanks are really high health too, and R3ddog's just here healing them. And I don't know. Ooh, actually, no. Some of them are being killed. And R3ddog choosing to ferry, but Propropro putting tanks in blocking position to block all the damage he can. But ooh, 4 tanks on the corner. Oh, but Propropro immediately super quick to block. And R3ddog might get finished off here. And yeah, I don't think it's gonna be successful. Yeah, only 4 tanks left, 5 tanks. And does Propropro have Necros? I don't think he does. If he had Necros, he could just resurrect this entire army right now. And R3ddog did get finished off. And in the meantime, Propropro dropped a Gaddy over here to neutralize this outpost. So this outpost is in Propropro's control. I think R3ddog dropped some tanks back here, but the tanks didn't do much. And Propropro has 2 Longhorns still alive here. There's a Gemini over here, but it's super smoking. And R3ddog did manage to take this outpost again, ferrying 3 creeps. That's not enough to take an outpost. And Propropro is pushing out. I assume he's bringing these units over to mid. No? Placing 2 Longhorn over here to neutralize this outpost. R3ddog is going to cap Propropro's forward. So this is a really weird map split. 3 outposts to 2 in favor of R3ddog, despite losing all of those units. 2 smoking Longhorn trying to neutralize his outpost. Fortifying with some jumpers. Propropro is bringing some runners actually to probably try and cap this post, and I think he's going to get it. Yeah. But R3ddog's just fearing more creeps. I think his plan is to just stack up Gemini here again and then go for the fort. But the thing is, Propropro already has a lot of defense allocated and a lunchbox out on the field. So R3ddog needs to chip through that lunchbox before he can even do any fort damage. And these units that were pushed out being brought over to R3ddog's close outpost. But R3ddog placing 2 Gemini at mid and pushing out to Propropro's close outpost as well while he attempts to deal with this. And this Gemini will kill the lunchbox over here on the outpost. But I think Propropro is going to be able to hold on to his close. Yeah, R3ddog wisely pulling out his units. And Propropro ferrying some more over. R3ddog needs to get these units back to this outpost. Yes, correct. And meanwhile, Propropro's units did neutralize this. R3ddog's Gemini did neutralize mid. But those 2 outposts are still neutral. Propropro with a 2-to-1 outpost advantage right now. Spamming runners, so this outpost will not go down to the infantry. R3ddog bringing Gemini back. But 1 Gemini is not going to be enough to take this outpost, especially with a mech presence in the area. I think R3ddog should try and like snipe some units over here, or maybe you should try and take mid, which I think is what is he doing right now. Yeah, bringing over 4 infantry to take mid, and it looks like R3ddog will have mid, and Propropro's close, while Propropro has both of the outposts on R3ddog's side. This is a super weird map split, and Propropro, sending units over towards mid, and R3ddog with the grinder here. He was going to be able to hold this probably. Grinder, a few Longhorns socketed T99. That's really powerful. Propropro bringing some runners. I don't think he expected R3ddog to have units allocated over here. Where did that grinder go? I don't know, it just kind of disappeared. R3ddog dealing with some drops that Propropro did. But Propropro, in the meanwhile, did manage to take mid, actually. And with a grinder of his own. And spamming runners so this outpost doesn't go neutral. He has 1 Bucky, a grinder, and his mech in the area to deal with it. And R3ddog, ooh, yeah, R3ddog sees that his units are probably going to die. Managed to save socketed T99 and the Gemini. And ooh, R3ddog really low on health, and Propropro stealing the box. I think that's where R3ddog went. He went to get the box, and while he was getting the box, Propropro managed to take mid, which is really impressive. That's really fast. Small opening where the mech isn't there. And Propropro pushing in. I don't know about this. This is 5 Gemini and a T99. He needs to socket the T99. Oh, but there's a grinder here for the distract. And R3ddog chooses to pull out. I actually think he definitely could have defended that. Even, Propropro's spamming jokers, though. That's, yeah. But he's spamming them on follow. So, not quite sure. And R3ddog's units are kind of sandwiched right now. I don't know about this. This is the last of R3ddog's upkeep. Upkeep's 49 to 28. Propropro very decisively in the lead with 4 outposts to 0 by R3ddog. And this is a lot of units here. R3ddog's units are going to die. I think this is it. This is the end, pretty much. Attempting to overshield and getting focus fired. R3ddog not going to die, but all of his units will get wiped out. And yeah, this is pretty much the end, probably. I assume R3ddog's going to lose now. But it was a really well-placed, well-played game. Well-played game. And R3ddog did manage to take his close, but I don't think That's gonna be enough. He's getting focus fired. Yeah. If he dies to this, he's gonna lose the post. And Propropropro with a Goliath on the field. So this was a well played game. I think R3ddog's mistake was pushing the fort. He probably should have kept his units right there and attempted to secure the outpost. Or what I really think he should have done is when he brought his units over here and he pushed past Y, he should have set them on followed and pushed them back into mid. Because at that point, Propropropro was pulling all of his units back over here to try and defend, and then he would not have had the units to deal with R3ddog's tank push if he just went right back into mid. I also think when he first pushed his tanks here, he should have just brought some infantry, capped the post, and then dumped everything from his queue. And then he probably would have been able to take mid and just snowball off of that. But yeah, here's a lesson for you guys. If you're pushing to fort, you better be damn sure that you're going to kill the fort. Because if they defend your fort push, suddenly you're in a really, really, really awful situation. Unless they're on like less than 5% HP and you can like finish off the drops. Because then they have to allocate a bunch of units to unit defense, instead of being like super aggressive. But like, as pros usually know, like they know like offense is the best defense. So like if you bring their fort health down pretty low, pros are going to immediately be like super aggressive, and they're going to try and take as much map space as they can, because once they take that map space, then it's really hard for you with having only your fort to ferry like a few tanks all the way over to theirs. Especially like Osprey versus a striker, that striker's going to focus the Osprey down way before the Osprey even gets near his fort. And just having a few units to block in case, and with 2 lunchboxes, there's no chance that R3ddog was gonna come back into this game after he lost all of his units on the fort, unless he managed to take a few outposts like mid and take back his close. So yeah, because at that point Propropropro had a really big upkeep advantage, and R3ddog's still fighting, which is pretty valiant. Usually most players would give up at this point. 8 upkeep to 53. Yeah, I would have surrendered by now, and I think R3ddog's gonna surrender pretty soon. Yeah, 12 minutes 56 seconds. Yeah. So well played by both players. R3ddog, very good player. Maybe a little bit rusty, but Propropropro is also probably one of the best players in the game. So hard match to be fought against, but still very well played by R3ddog for almost clutching out a win. GG's to both players, and see you guys later.